Hello. We're going to give people a couple of minutes to show up and then we will start as soon as my tea is ready and warm and ready. It's still warming up. You hope I have enough cookies to share with chat. Um, I don't know if I do. I just have a little bit of chocolate. Last stream you noticed that I wasn't returning a Beastmaster from sysAlex string. Oh, no, I haven't fixed that. It's just we never noticed it because we never call sysAlex string. We just put it in there because you might as well while you're putting in sysfree string. So well, let's make sure that compiles. I'm sure it does, but all right. Let's just check that in. Oh, you got your Substar back. Yeah, Twitch Prime subs automatically lapse. They're not like regular subs, like paid subs, because Twitch wants all your money, uh, automatically recharge your bank account every month. Prime subs, because they're free, don't do that. And so you have to, if you want to keep up a Prime sub every month, you have to go re-click it. Today is not the intrinsic stream yet. We're probably going to do that over the weekend. Today is, I just want to finish up all this COM detection stuff. So we've made it all work in the language itself so that users in their meta programs can find these libraries. Now we're backporting all that stuff into C++ so that the compiler can do it itself without having to, you know, shell up to its own language to do it, so that the compiler can, so that without a meta program, you can link against C libraries and the compiler will know how to find them. And once that's done, maybe by the end of this stream, depending on how well we manage to progress, then we won't need the weird VC-vars script anymore, and that'll be really good progress. Have I found a new laptop? I bought it hasn't arrived yet because they're not shipping yet, but I bought a ThinkPad P1, um, which appears to meet all my requirements except the GPU is a little slow probably, but um, we'll see. It's like the only laptop that even is remotely close to being reasonable these days, as far as I can tell, and that's really sad. What is the CPU spec on this machine? I don't remember. What, they changed this as well? God. It's a Core i9 7920X. I don't know if you can read that small text. Would I upload the latest compiler videos? There's one or two that I'm going to upload, I think. But all the stuff about me just fighting my way through COM, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth uploading. You know, maybe. A ThinkPad P1 is what I say I just ordered. They just announced it recently. They're not shipping it yet for about another month, probably. Yeah, if you go to the Lenovo page and you say, hey, I want to order a P1, they say shipping in 4 to 5 weeks. I don't know whether we should believe that, but that's what they say. So, it's worth it as an instructional video to teach new Microsoft employees what not to do. Dude, it's not going to help because just they have their institutionalized way that they do things. And the only thing that changes that is other institutionalized ways of doing things that are mandated from the top. And none of that is going to be changed by someone watching these videos, I don't think. Have you ever found a way to install MSVC in a portable way? You would really like to install it to a USB. I have never even investigated that, but I doubt it. That's just not, again, that's something that should just work on all modern operating systems, right? Why can't you just run a program, you know? But no, on Windows, first of all, it has to be frickin' installed. You can't just run it. You have to install it. And that installation process puts in lots of weird hooks into places and whatnot. None of that should be, you should just be able to run the frickin' program. And it's crazy that you can't. So it's just over time, we just keep adding problems and they build up. Your dad is Steve Microsoft, and you can make him mandate institutionalized changes. That's true. Have I tried Sea Lion? No, I haven't. No Sea Lion for me. Okay, well, let's start doing some things. I should mention, for those new to the stream, that if you are a subscriber of the stream, you have access to our elite Discord frequent flyer supreme advanced luxury lounge, the link of which is at the bottom of the page. And people seem to have been using that through the evening and into the morning, so, well, mainly in the morning. People are getting some value out of that, so that's cool. Hi, Mom. Yeah. Too late, guys. Too late. I only dragged the window for a second. I can't drag the window for too long because we don't want the dirty non-subscribers to really see the content in the elite subscriber luxury highbrow lounge, right? If everybody can see what's there, then it's not that much of a privilege. So, yeah. Am I interested to see what can be achieved with real-time ray tracing? Totally, yes. I think that's going to be an interesting future direction for sure. I had thought that we would be at ray tracing before now, but sometimes it's hard to predict. I'm glad that we're there, at least at the beginnings of that. Although we'll see, like way back in 1997 or 98, there was a console called the Nuon that did real-time ray tracing that they wanted us to port their game to. They just weren't going to pay us enough. It was like a DVD player plus thing. Nuon, let's go to YouTube. Nuon ray trace demo. So this was ray tracing in... Oh, it's a very blurry demo, unfortunately, but okay, you know, it's ray tracing some spheres and stuff, but for doing this, it was doing this in real time in software in like 1997, and video game graphics in 1997 were like Super Mario 64 or something like that, so this really wasn't bad. So unfortunately, the YouTube video is not a very good quality. Anyway, so this is not the first time that we've been at real-time ray tracing that was a little bit slower than the real-time game technology of the same era. So, yeah. But we'll see this time. Valve was dropping the NDA on Artifact today, the first new game in 6 years. Yeah, it's a collectible card game, though, and it's not my kind of game. But a lot of people like collectible card games, as evidenced by their popularity. So we'll see what they announce. Okay. So we were let me get rid of some of these files so I can like easily tab around. Okay, so we were porting all the stuff that we did over to C++ again, and it's going to be a copy of all the same code that's many hundred, not many hundreds, but several hundreds of lines long. Like already we ported UTF-8 to wide and all this too. So we're starting here, 372 to 592. So we're already at 220 lines. And we haven't even done the other registry stuff or the COM stuff. I think, so now we're going to go over and we're going to port Find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. And I think I'm going to port the registry fallback part first, because we realize that that works on this machine. I, for some reason, didn't see the registry keys before, so I thought it wouldn't work, but it does work. And that doesn't require me to figure out what the COM include files are. So we'll do that, and then we'll do the other thing. Okay, so we're going to go Find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. Oops. Okay, so we're skipping all the COM stuff. It also means that I have a smaller chunk of things. Oh no, we don't have nested comments in C++. C++, you kill me. Do not compile this right now, please. And if... Okay. Would I consider releasing this Visual Studio as Tekla VSware? You know, that's not a bad idea. The thing is, we don't necessarily do absolutely everything. Like, we don't give you the absolute newest install. But, like, that is not a bad idea. Honestly, we could release it as a single file header STB style library. That would be pretty good. You think I can just do if zero? Yes, but if zero is not as fun. Okay. I might want to go and define do not compile this right now, please, in my list of defines. I can't do that if we're if zeroed. Okay. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to have to, that's a good idea. We're going to have to release this as a single file STB style header. Which means that before we release it, we should do another pass over it and like at least make sure it's kind of reasonable. The name of this procedure is kind of cryptic. Its purpose is to find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. By which we mean that the things the Visual Studio people want you to do just to find a single folder that everyone wants to know where it is. That's not a very grammatically wonderful sentence, whatever. Yeah, it's a good, we'll revise that comment for clarity when we release the thing. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's start doing this thing. We're going to have to pull defer in here. That's fine. Okay. Is there a better way in C++ to figure out how long an array is now? Like, how do you do that now? Right, you can do this. Um, that's not right, is it? I guess it is. Like, is there something less stupid than this that we can do? Yeah, even if the whole compiler is open source, it's valuable to provide this thing as a single file, right? Like I went to, for example, to the Zig source and looked at that to figure out how to do this, but it was still a lot of effort, right? Whereas if you give people a file where you literally say, include this file, call this procedure, it'll give you the information. That saves people a great deal of time. Great deal of time. There's always templates. Great. Let's make sure we got this right because I haven't done this in a long time. All right. Oh man, we're gonna have to include mprintf or so we do path. Okay. Well, make this OS file exists. Okay. I can say UTF-8 to wide here. Actually, for the hard-coded, okay. I don't know. All right. So I don't know. Oh, this has got to be return null. Let's see if that compiles. Probably not. L status. LP byte. Argument 5, was it? Buffer. Cannot convert from void star to LP byte. Sure glad they made that great abstraction of LP bytes. Auto should be preceded. Oh. All right. All right, this is good. So now up here, after we find Windows kit root, we can say find Visual Studio in a ridiculous garbage way. We should say success or failure, because that's more parallel. Okay, great. Great. Failure to find Visual Studio Runtime Library path. Well, probably we just screwed something up. I don't see why it wouldn't work if we had done everything correctly. Num versions is 4. Okay, so that works. Let's just say we obviously opened this key. Oh, not print, print F. Print F. F. H result 0. Okay, so we did find a 14.0. Maybe it's just this path. How long this takes to compile, man. It kills me. Oh, man. All right. We don't... Okay. Well, I didn't put the right thing. Obviously, that doesn't exist. Okay, so... Because it's %s, it's not percent. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I should have checked my percents. That was the problem last night as well. Okay, we got one of the percents right, but not all of them. How about this one? How about if we actually use the things that C++ wants? Okay. All right. So that's good. Now we have to do the ridiculous COM garbage, which is the most ridiculous garbage of all. Should we start writing our own string interpolation semantics without percent? Look, man, do what you want to do. Yeah, I like the idea of releasing this. Like, the fact that I've gone through this much pain to make this happen means that it's a valuable service to publish that result. It'll be some additional effort to turn what we've done into a header that people can just include. Like, first of all, you would rather have it in C than C++ so that more people could use it. Maybe we release the initial one in C++. And then we back convert to C later. There's all sorts of things that you could do, but releasing a self-contained thing that was just in C++ and just did all this would be fine. I'd have to pull in a few routines, so I'd either have to pull in my mprintf, which is, that's basically sprintf that allocates a buffer, or we'd have to add all sorts of fixed size buffer handling and whatever. I don't know. We'll do it in a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Okay. This is great. Now, let's check this in so that we feel good about what we've done. Version of the much of the Visual Studio folder finding. Okay. That's great. Uh-oh, my mouse is blinking that it's running out of batteries. I gotta plug it in. If the mouse fails, then we have to cancel the project. All right. Oh yeah, we already have all this. So now we're in do not compile this right now, please. And let's just do that much. Oh God. So we're gonna have to figure out this. Do we need some Visual Studio header file that defines? No, we're just gonna do it ourselves. We're just going to do it ourselves. So our iSetup configuration is that. And okay, is that, I mean, really, I don't know if we want to port all that. There's got to be like a string to GUID, or maybe we just type in the frickin' GUIDs, right? Let's just type in the frickin' GUIDs the right way. Maybe, what happened to our other files? I feel like we had this somewhere. I want the GUIDs in non-string form. I guess those aren't here. We saw them somewhere. Who even knows where we saw them at this point? I set up configuration GUID. Does anyone remember where we saw it? I mean, I can just copy the characters from the string. No, I did see you asking what the end goal is, but I just can't run a stream where I re-explain to people who show up all the time things that we already explained, because we'll never get anywhere, because people frequently show up and frequently ask that kind of thing. So you got to rewind and watch the VOD if you want to know what we're doing. Sorry. That's just how it is. It's a practical constraint. I would spend all my time re-explaining the same things. Instead of doing wonderful things like trying to figure out the GUID for this stuff. Maybe I'll just paste the text into a GUID struct and hope I don't screw up. I want the C++ text. I don't want that format. I don't know. That's not what I want. Like, how do I search? How do I search for exactly what I want, which is the program text of someone declaring a, there we go. I want this. So all these are in the same order. Okay. This is all I wanted. Okay. Probably don't need to say struct. GUID my UID equals let's actually, let's copy it. Okay, fine. F1, 8.1, 6E, FD, 5B. Right? Boy, this sure is programming. I really am solving some real smart problems right now. This is not at all busy work or a waste of my time. Not at all. This is really, this is the best of programming. Okay, I hope I didn't screw that up. I probably did. Hey, we have GUID. And we have co-initialize. That means we might have everything. Okay. All right. iSetup configuration is not declared. Okay, so we can either copy Visual Studio's file or we can copy this. Which is basically Visual Studio's file. Look at all this. Holy cow. This is ridiculous. All right. Do we have all that? Enum setup instances, enum setup instance. All right. Come on, come on. All right. So argument 1. Const IID ref. All right. Okay. All right, people. Well, we're not, let's just say printf let's just see that we got a result from that. Hey, that looks good. So let's get rid of that print because we don't care. Let's get rid of that and that. So if I'm going to have all this ridiculous garbage in this file, if our goal is going to be to make it a single file library that people could actually use and understand, we're just going to pare it down to what it actually is. If people want the useless documentation that doesn't tell you very much, they can get that from the official source. This is not the official source. This is just code that declares the data structure. In a minimal way. Boy, this sure is programming. Fresh air, the wonder of nature, and programming. All right, so that looks like less of a ridiculous abomination right there. I mean, we probably don't need these, but we might as well leave them there for self-documentation or something. I don't even know what that's defined as. I bet this is defined as like nothing. Okay. So that's great. Our co-create instance is succeeding. Would something like com, which forces reference counting on you, be a good place to use destructors to call release? I don't think so, because the compiler doesn't know when you want to call release. You might want something to live a long time. What's the difference between com and decom? I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. All right. We might as well do this, do that. Oh, it's %p. %p. So ugly. God. Can't believe the decisions these people make. All right. So the amount that we do not want to compile yet, please, is shrinking. Let's like put it to that much. Actually, let's put it to a little more. Let's go to there. While one cannot convert argument 3 from U32 to U long is S32. How is U long not U32? I don't know. Path is blah. We're getting there, people. Okay. Okay. Do not compile this right now, please. Let's just see if we can get the tools file all the way. Do I not have a different overload of OS read entire? I don't. All right. Okay. Tools file size is OS read entire file. Wait, is size T unsigned? Why am I returning -1? Now I'm a little suspicious. Unsigned integer types. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. Error, error, error does not compute. We are returning -1, but size T is unsigned. Fix this situation. I think this probably originally was like S64 and then someone changed it to size T. Great, now I got to change my header file because it's C++. I actually want to blame that to figure out what's going on. Because I feel like it's something that changed. 132, yeah. Let's go for the header file. Where? Wait, is it not in this header? Wait, what? Where does it live? What a rat hole. We're trying to do Visual Studio garbage. Why am I rat holing on this? It's in general.h. Ugh. Okay, that's going to be more annoying to do a blame on, but we'll do it. General.h. Size T. Probably was me. Yep, it was me. Revision 242. So that was not the right thing to do while I was listening to Front 242 and programming. Yep. The most amazing achievement. Line 700. Oh, tools file. What does lenient size mean? It's ignored. No, it's not. That's an old comment. Oh, this is F. All right. Tools file is blah. I don't see that. Oh, because we got to check our percents. Let's just do that right now, even in the code we haven't included. %s. Okay, so obviously that wasn't going to work. %s, %s, %s. Got to check your percents. Okay, we got the tools file. Let's see what's going on in the swank elite lounge of lounginess. Is this code valid in the language ternary? If condition, return when true, return when false. You would have to set up lazy evaluation in some way, which you can't do right now. With the macro system, you can do that, but you can't do it. Can't do it right now. I don't think. I mean, maybe there's some way you could make that happen, but we don't. You probably could do something weird to make that happen, but it's not. An obvious thing is not occurring to me right now. Yeah. Shouldn't it complain if the number of percents doesn't match the number of arguments? Well, it would, except that this is not a standard library printf routine. This is my own thing. And maybe there's some way to annotate that to make the error handling kick in, but I don't know what that is, so we don't get that. All right, well, we'll do this. All right. Oh. Frickin' stir frickin' arc hair. Okay. Okay, so is there a way to t-print, or is there a way to printf uh, substring? %.5. No, but we don't want a constant. We don't want a constant. Is there a way to do that? So I have a variable that says how long the string is, and I have the pointer to the head of the string, and I want to print that many characters without allocating a copy. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Stomp the data because nobody cares about it. That's what we do. There we go. Version blah. Okay, so let's delete some of these older prints. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. All right. Well, that might be it. No more do not whatever this file now, please. Hey, Visual Studio Library path is blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. So that's pretty good. Printf %.star s length string. Yeah, I vaguely remembered it was something like that, but I didn't really remember. Okay. Find the visual. So now let's see. Oh, fix a bug involving size. Just for giggles, we probably have a few more code dependencies than this, but let's say it's from here to the bottom of the file. So 368 to 772. It's 400 lines, which is way more than it should be, but that's like under 5% of the size of VSware. Oh my God, Microsoft. I missed %s in one of the path strings. Oh, you're right. How does it even work? Does it even work? Oh, it doesn't work, probably. Right, we're returning this path, but we're not actually using it yet. So, yeah. Thank you for spotting that. Okay. Now, oh, right, it failed because we tried to find a file and didn't, so we fell back to this. Right, so it didn't work. Now it's working. Okay, right. I was getting mesmerized by staring at the screen too long. All right. Okay. This is all pretty good. So the last step to close the circle is we want to make the compiler run without these things. So let's open a fresh shell. I mean, I don't even know. We're going to open a fresh shell. We're going to go to our bug 118. And we haven't run VC vars, so this won't. Oh, sorry. That was compiling Sokoban, so it will compile because it has its own metaprogram that finds the libraries. But this, bug 118, if we just compile main here, yeah. So it doesn't work. We're running all this stuff at compile time. All the stuff we run at compile time works. Remember when we were testing our floor function? Remember that? All the stuff we run at compile time works, but we can't link it because it doesn't know where link.exe is. And that's a good question, is where does that frickin' live? We could just use LLD. I don't want to do that right now because it involves making the options slightly different. All right, so from the Visual Studio library path, oh my God, we're going to need wait, link.exe is not part of the redistributable, right? So we can't give it out with the compiler anyway. So I think we're going to have to use LLD. Unless it is. Does anyone know? Like, is link.exe redistributable legally? Let's hope our mouse is charged up enough by now. I don't... This doesn't really tell me... This just is DLLs. It doesn't say linker anywhere. It's not redistributable, but people don't need to install. They can install build tools for Windows. Or whatever it's called. Microsoft Go. Dude, this sounds kind of scary, but is it gonna start my download? Yeah, okay. So it doesn't require you to sign up for a Microsoft account or something to get that yet. Like, where is that gonna put the thing? Is it gonna put it somewhere remotely okay? Okay, hold on. I'm starting to get hungry. I want to declare victory and get breakfast. So it's in, oh my God, look at all the link.exes. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. So as our first step, we can make a string that has this. For this case. Okay, so see, the problem is if someone has one of these things installed, oh, I don't know. We're going to assume the linker and the VC runtime are in the same place. I don't frickin' know. Okay, so this is the lib path. And then link exe path is going to be bin host x64 slash x64, right? Oh wait, no. This is for the Visual Studio 2015. We're looking at the wrong thing. Okay. So we're going to do that. And then just test this before we get fancy. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Link exe path. Okay. So we could just use that now. Okay, so like that. Now, will we be able to link? Oh, because we're not setting it. Cannot open file libcmt.lib. That's good. That means we found the linker. Look at this ridiculous garbage command line that we're starting to build up. We found the linker. We didn't give it the library paths. But guess what? Guess what? We know the library paths. Okay, what does our metaprogram do with that? We say, oh, that's the LLD. I guess it's the same though, right? How do we, is it libpath? Link.exe libpath. Additional libpath. Yeah, it's the same. So we say if VC runtime path put that after the no logo. Oh, the libm might be in the Windows kits. No, it won't be there. It'll be in VC runtime. C program is not a recognized. Okay, now I'm confused. Because it didn't say that. is so stupid. Like, if you just let me pass the arguments instead of a giant concatenated string, this wouldn't be a problem. Okay, it doesn't like the lib path having, what do we do here? Oh, it's maybe just that the lib path doesn't exist because wait, that's even the wrong one. That's the kit root one. That's the wrong one. Lib path. No, yeah, we just do it this style. Dude, this is again when decades of bad decisions pile up. Like, what the hell is even going on here? Quotation marks must go before /lib path. Oh, well, we didn't do that for LLD, but maybe LLD is smarter about this. That might be another source of confusion. All right. Nope. Didn't frickin' matter. I mean, well, okay, maybe that does matter. A lot of people are saying that, so we'll put it there. But maybe that does matter, but that's not actually the problem. Let's do this. So I don't know if the thing it's complaining about is the lib path, or if the thing it's complaining about now is suddenly the first C program files due to the presence of more quotation marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this lib path to be like C program files or something. Right. So C colon, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm off by one. I guess I was off by one. Let's just make it oh no, not a star. That's really asking for problems. X. Double check that the path is valid. Yeah, the path probably isn't valid, but that's a stupid error message to get. Yeah, okay, so no, okay, so now it's complaining about this, because this has an X in it, and it's not saying prex gram, it's saying program. Holy crap, dude, this is so crazy. Just, these programs are such garbage. Like, this is my user interface to the entire program, by the way. This is Microsoft's idea of UI design. And yet, they'll spend all this time, doing this. They spend all this time ruining the UI here that used to be good when they could, like, yeah, I don't even know what to say. Maybe wrap individual paths. Try use program file. We can't use program files % because we don't know what's in program files. This is a string returned to us by all this wonderful code that we've been developing that queries the registry and com. You're calling the main.exe file using its qualified path. But you have to quotate that as well. What do you mean? It is quoted. That quote, quote. See that quote? See that quote? Try turning it off and on again. Yeah, no, what I'm going to try is turning it off and walking away and never, ever, ever turning it on again. Oh my God. Just let me select the text like normal text. All right. Does this actually exist? It does exist. That's a folder. Does this exist? Did this get deleted off my hard drive in the past 10 seconds? Nope. Get short path name W. Dude, oh my God. Don't be... There has to be a better way than doing further path name munging. Like, look, I have several more paths to add to this. And this works with LLD anyway. So it's not a problem with system or whatever. Right? When we compile Sokoban, we make this path and... Oh, well, we don't have a space in this one. But we have multiple lib paths with spaces in them here. If Microsoft's link.exe can't handle a space, then don't put your fucking linking stuff in places that have spaces. Oh my God. Can you show how you're starting the process? Well, we put together these arguments. We are very sanitary about putting every argument in its own string, even though Microsoft doesn't give you a way to launch a process that way without concatenating it into a space-filled thing, which is like, instead of forcing everyone onto the Microsoft store, how about if you fix this, people? So where is that? Where is that? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? We passed it. So we get this. We go back. I don't know. Where do we actually launch this? We call this. We say run the linker. That's macOS that I'm looking at. We say run command. Okay. So get command line basically just concatenates this all with spaces because we don't have a different way to do it. And we call system. Apparently. What do we do? I have a feeling that we do something different here. Here we say OS run commands, which does this full action, where we create pipes and do all this stuff so that we can read the output of the commands. But here we call create process W. So Um, which, by the way, also doesn't give you a way to create a process without concatenating all the arguments with a bunch of spaces in between. So it might be that system is just broken and we need to call create process W. You think the issue is just on finding link.exe? No, I don't think it is, because we found link.exe because it complained about libm or whatever, the math library not existing. If we can scroll back up far enough. Where was it? Yeah, so here, link fatal error cannot open input file libcmt.lib. That is the linker saying, hey, you didn't tell me where the libraries are. So that means we successfully ran the linker with this. It's only till we add the other thing that it starts failing. So let's do this suggestion of just pasting this. That's 637 characters. All right. So we're just going to paste this. That works. This doesn't work. This works. Okay, here's what we do. The compiler can't actually run. It just outputs a string and then prints, please paste this string into your console to compile. And then you select the string and you paste it into your console. And then we'll make a 10,000 line program called vcrun.exe that we put on GitHub that uses neural network OCR to read the text out of the window that the compiler prints and generates Windows events to type that text into your console so that you don't have to. Yeah, so the problem is, you know, apparently system messes things up, which I'm not that surprised at. Like, it's not the official API or whatever. I don't know why we're using it. Let's blame that, because I feel like I originally did create process, but maybe that's not true either. Okay. This is just such a garbage. Like, give me an API where I give you the arguments as an array, and this is never a problem ever for anybody. And you don't have to quote anything. You don't have to backslash anything. It just works. Like, we've gone decades without that, right? How many people should get fired for that alone, right? Give me an API where the arguments are an array. Like, how stupid are you not to do that? Holy crap. The reason that that probably hasn't happened is that when they start up the C runtime, it's like all a string and the shell parses it or something, right? But just fix that. You guys are shipping shells that like do Linux crap now. So like, just modify your stuff. Concatenate it all into strings for backward compatibility, but for new code, let me just look at the frickin' thing, and this will never be a problem. Like, I don't know what people at Microsoft do all day, honestly. I would prefer that you implement a neural network using language server protocol. Yeah, you need one server per neuron. You need one neuron server per neuron. Stack Overflow says you have to put extra quotes when using system because it uses command/C. Can you do nested quotes? I don't know. We're just going to do create process W because it's the right thing. We shouldn't call system. Where was that? It's in run command, which is in run external programs. Okay. So we're gonna break this up. This is gonna go into that's gonna be the Unix version. And we're going to make a Windows version. Are you kidding me? You don't have array? Oh, in OS specific. Oh, God! All right, well, we can't put this here. Dude, I have so little patience for this kind of garbage now that I program in a language that doesn't have it. I don't know, let's put it there. I don't know what the compiler wants. Yes, you can do nested quotes. You have to backslash the inner quotes and surround it all with one big mega meta quote. Indeed. This won't work on Unix either. Well, on Unix, the paths aren't going to have spaces in them. So oh my God, now I'm doing all this C++ busy work to like babysit the compiler because I'm an idiot who programs in C++. All right. So that now it still will do the same thing because we haven't changed anything. Okay. So now instead of calling system, we say create process W. And I don't think we want a working directory. Let's just good thing I ported UTF-8 to wide. Can I not pass a working directory to create process W? I mean, honestly, I can call create process A here, but let's not. All right. LP current directory, if this parameter is null, it'll have the same as calling process. That's great. Null. Not Newell, not Gabe Newell. Null. We don't want process information. Can we make that null? All right. Dude, I don't even know. Null pitter. Okay, well, that's not good. Let's... If someone went all the way through the effort of using C++ null pitter, we'll keep it. Info. What was info? I think we just set the startup info to null. It doesn't say it can be null. Oh my God, it worked. What was our executable file that we outputted? Main.exe. Why don't we have a main.exe? Oh wait, it shouldn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. The reason we know it didn't work is because we haven't given it the library paths yet. So the fact that it didn't give us errors that it couldn't find the libraries is telling us it didn't work. All right. Wow. Really? Are we just like exiting when we try to call create process W, or did we do something? Yeah. We just never return from create process W. Make sure to read the description for LP command line. It probably doesn't include the first frickin' argument or whatever. I don't know. Or does, or... This string can be interpreted in a number of ways. As soon as you have to write that in your documentation, you have failed. All right? Just this all has to be changed. God, this is insane. So doesn't this support POSIX systems? It's fine. POSIX systems is a totally different code path. I'm just making this work on Windows right now. The Unicode version of this function can modify the contents of this string. Dude. Oh my God. You people are crazy. This is totally bananas. Why are you appending .exe? Why are you doing any of this stuff? This is not what the API should be. System adds a terminating null character to the command line string to separate the name from the arguments. Oh my God. Which summer intern do you want to fire today? Okay. Well, I have no idea why this is failing. It's just... Let me break this out. Just because there's some possibility we're failing there. Nope. Maybe this p info has to be like this. Does this have a size of? I don't even know. We're just going to try that. Nope. You should initialize the structure. Oh, right. Okay. No, this is a good point. Both of these. We ported this over from a language that automatically clears everything to 0. That's not true in C++, right? So mem info 0 size of info, and I guess here too, even though this might be a only output structure. That is probably the problem. That is one of the only things that I could think of that would generate a crash like that. All right. Cannot open input file libucrt.lib. That is progress. That is progress. Okay. So now we just have to go back over here to our right, so we need to take the Windows kit folder and do like x64 and x64. Okay, so no. String. It's weird to call it string, but all right, whatever. Windows kit lib2 path ucrt. All right. Now, I don't even remember. That's here. Yeah. So we're getting the default link commands. Okay, so if Windows kit lib1 path we always, instead of having these global variables, we could like just make an array of like things, but whatever. All right. We might be able to compile now. I don't see an error. Main.exe. After many days of horrible badness, we finally do not have to run vcvars, and we do not have to run vsware, and we don't have to run vs boondoggle bs 1.7. You finally can run the compiler, and now you only have as prerequisites need to install the Windows Kit installer and the Visual Studio redistributable, whatever the hell. How many lines of code is it in total? It's like 400 or whatever that we looked at. It's like we shouldn't have to do any of this, right? You should just be able to run a program, but Microsoft doesn't want us to just be able to run programs, so we have to do all this work, but that's fine. So this is good though. So I'm going to check this in, and before I check it in, I'm going to delete our stupid vars.bat here. In theory, we do not need vars.bat anymore. Oh, the pain this took. All right, I'm going to check this in. If I break the compiler for anybody, well, I'm around right now, so it's fine. Did we leave any extra printfs in there that we don't? I don't really see any. Sokoban still works. Oh, I should have run the tests. I guess I should take these out, but we'll leave those in for a couple days. Let's run the tests. I hope they work. Oh God, that didn't work. It is being used by another process. Oh man. Like when we call create process, are we like locking it now for some reason? Oh my God. You need to close the handles and process information. Yep, the documentation did say that. It's true. Okay, process information. I don't want any of these handles. So we'll close handle H process, close handle H thread. All right. Now can we run the tests? Nope. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. So there could be a number of things happening. There could be a weird race condition in this tests library, or I don't even know. Actually, here's what is probably happening. We're probably not waiting on this process to complete, and then we're trying to open a file. So like system waits for the process to complete, right? So how do we... is it, we do wait for single object or something? Wait for single object, yeah. That's probably... handle and milliseconds. Well, I sure hope you guys signal us. All right. Nope. Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe it's taking longer because of these libraries or something. All right. Somebody has a test program where they're running CL manually. That is not okay. This is not my fault. This is somebody with a meta program that is requiring vars.bat, which is no longer legal. Okay. So this one is not my fault. I will send email about that. All right. So there's one thing we haven't done yet. So we're making these paths, right? And the rest of the program is using these. The VC runtime path is fine if it's an older version of Visual Studio, but the link.exe path, we're not setting if it's an older version of Visual Studio. So if I go back to this case, right. If I go back to this case where we were compiling this, that works still, thankfully. But if we comment out our finding of Visual Studio 2017. If we just fall, but if we just fall back to 2015, we're not setting this value. So we need to set link exe path return. For this case, so like what even was that path, first of all? Oh wait, the Sokoban uses its own. No, not Sokoban. Okay, now this is fine. Here, and then bin link.exe, I guess. Right, so bin. So there. Okay, so now hey, it found it. Boom. We've got an extra backslash. Okay, that's, I guess, good enough for me for now. Find linker in what am I even doing? I need some sugar now, man. Find linker in fallback case of prior Visual Studio version. Okay. So I think that completes the work that we're going to do this morning. I do like the idea of packaging this into a small single file thing that people can use. I think the audience for this is pretty small, but you know what? We might as well do it. Looking into game design theory and was reading up about entity component system. What do I think about that versus traditional OOP designs? I don't think either of those things are necessary. I think you want your entities to be as simple as they can be to do the job that you need them to do. I don't use either object-oriented entity systems or entity component system in my games. I just have some entity structs. Has Invaders been kept up to date? Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of the tests that gets compiled. Yeah. I mean, so part of the problem is if you're trying to learn how to make games, there's just a lot of people out there who give you information that it's not totally wrong, but it's just not that helpful. Like you don't need a complicated entity system to design a game, and in fact, it probably will hurt you to have a complicated entity system unless you really know why you need it to be complicated, which you won't until you have a successful game that pushes lots of data, and then you'll know what you need. So don't do anything like that, is my recommendation. Most of built-in Windows apps work with URL syntax to reduce the amount of white space quoting and reduce pain. That's fine. I mean, but that's a workaround that shouldn't be necessary because you should be launching processes with unambiguous command lines where there's no problem with spaces anyway. That's just how it should work. Yeah. I'm checking out the frequent flyer lounge now. What are people saying in the lounge? I guess people don't use the voice channel as much as the message channel. People are talking about Insobot. You're just saying the Twitch chats. All right. Yeah, escaping is really, it's not that fun, right? Which is why, do we still have this or did I delete it? I guess I deleted it, but that's why we have the here strings and stuff in this language so that you don't have to escape anything, right? You can say, this is the string that I want, and, you know, yeah, escaping just gets crazy. Thanks for the feedback on the Zig codes. Yeah, I mean, I certainly had bugs in my own version as well. So it's just what happens when you write that kind of code, I think. Yeah, it's sad that we have to do this. I mean, how much time has been wasted solving this problem that shouldn't be a problem? But that's why, by the way, you know, when I rant about like, why does Facebook have tens of thousands of programmers? It's because of this. It's because if one programmer spends most of his time making problems that the other programmers then have to solve, then everybody feels like they're doing something. The first programmer feels like he's making things, and the other programmers feel like they're solving problems. And in the end, it's just everybody running around on giant hamster wheels, right? That is what is happening with current day software. So something like this, where I had to spend a lot of time of low quality of life to get it working, and that's given references like this code from Zig and all that, right? Imagine if I didn't have any references of people attacking this problem already, how much more annoying and painful it would have been. Why do I have to do all this? Because somebody else decided to build a hamster wheel that I have to run on, right? That's not progress. That's not real work. It's lack of good taste and judgment on the part of the people creating these problems. So that, you know, programming would be a lot better if we didn't have this situation. Subbing costs monies unless you have Amazon Prime, and then you can hook that up to Twitch and you can subscribe for free. There should be instructions at the bottom of the page. I might need to refresh the server if you just subscribed, because of course, this being a modern computing system, it can't just push the information that you get in the thing. It has to poll every hour. So like 33 subscribers. Okay. Hopefully everybody can get on now. I don't know. Voice is weird. In here strings, how do you escape the end word? you pick an end word that is not the first word on the line, right? You can have that string later in a line, which is fine. So you just, the goal is you pick something that you don't have to escape because you know it does not exist in the string. Do we have inheritance? Depends on what you mean by inheritance. Oh, you're not subscribed, just hearted. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. I don't need money. So don't, like, subscribing to this channel is uh is just a fun thing. Like, and because it's just a fun thing, I thought I would make a fun channel for people to stay in. But like, I'm not, yeah, I have a real job. I make enough money to live. So don't feel the need to subscribe. How do we solve the noise issue in the witness's light mapping? I believe there was still some noise issues. I mean, we just did more tuning of like importance sampling plus smoothing plus some other stuff. I don't know. Ignacio really solved that problem, so you would really have to ask him, because I didn't pay super close attention because there's just a lot to do on a game like that, and if I'd paid super close attention to that, it would have been less time on other things. Boy, you wish there was an elite lounge here? You mean like a Twitch chat room for subs? We might be able to do that too. But like, how many elite lounges can you have, really? Like, I mean, the Discord lounge is super elite because you have voice chat. You can like paste videos and stuff and code, and it's formatted. Look at how elite this is. Does Twitch chat do that? No, it doesn't. So that could be very elite. Have I ever had someone say something negative to me in person because of my opinion on C++? No, I haven't. In general, people who say snippy things on Twitter or whatever do not have the level of social bravery that is required to say those things in real life. And also, they wouldn't react that way in real life because your brain, when you're dealing with a real person, it just generates different responses. So yeah, do I like Brian Will's videos? I haven't seen probably most of them. I saw some of them, and I think that they're, you know, his opinion's a little different from mine, but it's I think in a positive direction for sure. So you added a PSA that advertises the Elite Lounge. All right. You mentioned Vulkan and all the GL nerds started calling you stupid. Well, they're going to have a problem when nobody runs GL anymore. Wow, we have a lot of viewers on the channel, but it's time to go. There's so many people on the channel. All right, let's... Who do we visit today? Who's in game development? Look at all the people. There's like 800 people on this channel now. I want to see serious programming. That's Honest Dan. We just hosted Honest Dan, so let's not do that again. Oh, Visual Debugger and Godot Engine. I don't know what that means.
Godot.
I see a to-do list. I don't see any code, but Visual Debugger. That could be interesting. Programming with Drew Clowry. Game GUI character stats. I mean, AS, is that action script? What? I don't even know. Cloning Sinistar and Pico 8. I mean, this looks pretty early on for Sinistar, but that could be good. What looks appealing to people? This guy doesn't seem to be saying anything, but maybe if people showed up, he would. We can't do Jessica Mack every time. You know what I'm saying? We gotta spread it around. Let's do the Godot engine, guys, because they're doing something visual and that could be interesting. All right. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see y'all later.